I'm the Philosophical Bachelor, and today I'm going to read you Chapter 3 of Xperience the Revolution, entitled Making the Pitch. Governments are best classified by considering who they are in fact endeavoring to satisfy, writes Alfred North Whitehead in Adventures of Ideas. Within 5 minutes of their initial meeting, President General Liu knew he was dealing with a man whose intellect exceeded his. After he topped his cohort in the critical competitive examinations for all 12-year-olds, Liu was handpicked and groomed to do great things for Mutatuli. Considered gifted, he was sent at the age of 16, all expenses paid, to the finest schools in the West, and he did not disappoint. When he finished his first degree at MIT on the government's dollar, Liu was offered 2 paths by Mutatuli: to continue his studies to earn his doctorate in engineering, or to go to the military academy in Japan to earn his stripes as a soldier. It was clear to Liu which path to take. His ambitions far exceeded what was in store for him if he remained in academia. Between leading Mutatuli's only university versus leading the country which had so far been led by military generals, Liu was far more enticed by the latter. His father only managed to reach the rank of colonel. Liu had craved to exceed the old man's achievements since he was little. Not that they had a poor relationship. The boy adored his father and he wanted to please him. This passion remained with Liu even as he grew to be his own man. One thing that made Liu a truly competent leader was that he recognized the capabilities of others almost intuitively. He had the humility to know when he was in the presence of others who were better than him, who were in any case usually only better in a specific way. His ignorance of finance did not prevent Mutatuli from becoming the financial capital it was today. Liu simply appointed an expert in national accounting to lead that ministry. He did not like the man, but that was besides the point. One did not have to like one's subordinates to make use of them properly. In this way, he surrounded himself with truly knowledgeable lieutenants, all of whom were loyal to him because they knew that he knew their capabilities and could appreciate their work. Even those who did not make the cut respected Liu's decisions because they understood the source of his power, which was to bring the best people together and motivate them accordingly. They also feared him. Those who tried to displace him were rapidly cut down to size. Liu was still young, only 50, and already seemed destined to lead the country till he was carried out in a box. DSB was not intimidated. He knew what he had to offer and had thoroughly researched Mutatuli and Liu prior to arriving 2 days ago. He also knew he could not carry on with his work in a business environment like Europe's. The continent had grown too politically correct, too risk-averse. Their leadership, while acknowledging the brilliance of his invention, could not see its prospects, or more likely was too afraid of its consequences. He did not manage to seduce them. The religious patriarchy had suggested that DSB was hawking an immoral mind-enslaving machine, more powerful than the strongest mind-modifying drugs. The European media lapped it up, demonizing the machine as a brainwashing device. They were not wrong. DSB in all his brilliance might have misread the situation. The liberalization of recreational psychoactive hallucinogens 2 years before, which the religious establishment also protested, led him to believe that the continent was ready for the next step in mind alteration. But having lost that battle, the Patria was not about to lose another. DSB's fame preceded him. Liu had been thoroughly briefed by his advisors. DSB already had a series of patents under his belt, from which he had made a fortune. Each of the technologies that goes into the machines had been separately patented, which allowed Encore to license parts of them to companies which had profited greatly from them. Encore's AI Life technology was used in robo-advisors, self-driving cars, trains, planes, space exploration modules, and ironically even by the media companies which reported negatively on Encore. However, to DSB, the machine was just a logical evolution of the virtual technology augmented living of the present day. Liu knew all this. After all, Encore was not the first such company to come to Mutatuli. If any country could accept and foster the radical edge in technology, Mutatuli was it. DSB was aware of Mutatuli's motives. So long as he focused on developing Encore's technology and making money from it, Mutatuli was a good place to be. However, if he dared to cross the line and tried to modify the country's political landscape, he would be in for a fight. Liu played fair, but for a man like Liu, fair play could go very far in destroying one's opponents. DSB had sent its technicians ahead of his arrival to set up the machine in a secure facility to demonstrate experiences to the president. The proof of the pudding is in the tasting, and he wanted to be sure that the tasting blew the president and his people away. Even just to demonstrate one machine, close to an entire warehouse-sized building was required. The investment was already substantial, but DSB bit the bullet. The brain of the machine stood in a great hall, housed in an anti-ferromagnetic triple-walled tank filled with liquid nitrogen to keep the quantum material stable during the simulation. 3 wire harnesses connecting the brain to the capsule each had the thickness of a mature redwood tree, containing in total over 1 million fiber optic channels. While his workers labored hard during this month, DSB was also hard at work. He had to think up a one-of-a-kind experience worthy of a man like Liu. What can he give to a person who ranks among the most powerful on the planet? DSB decided to take a big gamble. He was going to give Liu the experience of playing God. I hope you had enjoyed this third chapter of Xperience the Revolution. Thank you for tuning in. A new chapter will be released every week, so please stay tuned for chapter 4. I will also post the text of each chapter every week on my blog, so if you wish to read along, please find a link in the description. Please leave me a comment, like and subscribe to the Philosophical Bachelor channel, and please share the video so that others may enjoy my book also. Thank you.